When we think of the early days of the automotive industry, we might recall names such as Ford and Dodge, but those names would not have meant as much if not for the ingenuity of the Fisher brothers. Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we are exploring the Jazz Age mansion of Fred Fisher. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House. In the early 1900s, Fred Fisher left Ohio with his brother Charles in search of work. They arrived in Detroit, where they found an honest living making horse-drawn carriages for the C.R. Wilson Company. They broke into the industry at an interesting time as the company was beginning to pivot its manufacturing towards carriages for automobiles. While with the company, Fred was credited with building the first-ever closed-body coupe for the 1905 Cadillac Osceola. The two brothers learned on the job, and in 1908, they broke away to form their own automobile carriage manufacturing company, the Fisher Body Company. Within 2 years, Cadillac named the Fisher Body Company as the sole manufacturer of all of its closed-body carriages for automobiles. With their fine attention to detail, innovative techniques, and ability to weatherproof, Oldsmobile and Buick quickly signed exclusivity contracts with the Fisher brothers. Over the next 3 years, they gained business from Ford and General Motors, producing over 100,000 car bodies per year. By 1916, Fisher Body was contracted to manufacture for 19 different automobile giants. The Fisher brothers were now some of the most influential and powerful players in the automobile industry. Their warehouses were spread out over 40 buildings, covering over 3.7 million square feet of assembly lines, and staffed by 100,000 employees. The company required 160,000 acres of forest to supply its manufacturing of specialty parts, carpeting, and thread, making it also the largest textile producer in the world. Even the largest car manufacturers could not keep up with the Fisher brothers, and feared that they would be replaced if the brothers ever decided to launch their own independent brand. In 1919, General Motors acquired a majority stake in the company before outright purchasing it in 1926. At this moment, the Fisher brothers became some of the wealthiest men in the entire world and set out to build their mansions. Fred purchased a premier lot in Detroit's Arden Park and hired architect George D. Mason to design for him an 8,800 square foot Italian Renaissance Revival style mansion. The palatial home was clad in limestone with ornate window and door surrounds set below a low-pitched clay tile roof. Entering the home, we will pass through a wrought iron gate to arrive in the vestibule, where French doors open into the stair hall. Directly ahead of us, the floating stairs round out along stone block walls, sweeping towards the second floor below a stained glass window. We can take a closer look at the artisan details of the wrought iron balustrade, gracefully ascending above a carved wave pattern. To one side of the stair hall, we will see French doors below a transom window, opening into the living room. From the mahogany wainscoting to the herringbone wood floors, not much has changed in the space over the last 100 years. We can take a closer look at the porcelain fireplace to see how it pairs with the mahogany relief work above the mantel. When Fred lived here, it was decorated with period furniture and heavy drapes to block out the sunlight. Which version of this room do you like more, the recent or the historic? Let me know down below in the comments section. Directly across the stair hall, the dining room was decorated with European tapestries and antique furniture. We can imagine Fred hosting notable guests such as Henry Ford, where they would talk business over a 3-course dinner prepared by the staff of the house. While on the subject of staff, we can take a look behind the scenes to see the state-of-the-art kitchen tiled from floor to ceiling and featuring a telephone, something which was still rare for the time. From here we can navigate towards the breakfast room and conservatory, where the walls were clad in marble and coupled with the sound of water trickling from the wall fountain. Continuing along towards the rear of the house, we will pass through a wrought iron grate to find the music room. Here guests would mingle above checkered marble floors as ambient music drifted through the air below the hand-stenciled ceiling. Perhaps if you were attending such an event at the house, you would find yourself stepping outside to enjoy the perfectly manicured gardens. Next we will see the ballroom, with furniture pushed up against the walls to allow plenty of space for dancing on the mosaic tile floor. At the top of the second floor stair landing, just above the front door, we stumble upon the library with built-in glass-paned bookcases on one side. The far wall is clad in wood paneling, with fluted pilasters framing French doors opening to the Juliet balcony above the front door. The bedrooms were finished out with painted wall panels and featured twin beds, each with their own monogrammed satin quilts. Fred enjoyed the 24-room mansion with his family until his passing in 1941. Over the course of his lifetime, he donated millions of dollars to charities, schools, and churches, while securing his legacy as a pioneer in the earliest days of the automotive industry. The mansion went on to be sold several times over the years. However, unlike so many grand Jazz-age mansions, which weathered into rubble with time, Fred Fisher's mansion has had the fortune of being continuously cared for by private owners, who have upheld its legacy by preserving the historically significant house. Did you have a favorite room? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House. I would also like to take a moment to say a very special thank you to our This House supporters. If you would like to see your name on the screen and contribute in part to the production of these videos, join the membership program today. I'll see you next time on This House.